Welcome to a new video. We're gonna get right into it again today. Dad is working very hard. I told him to wait for me, but here he is. So these John Deere R4038 sprayers were basically all the self-propelled sprayers since like the 4000s, 4700s I think they were. All come with these stupidly thin tires, like pizza cutters.
Well, you need stupid for...
You need stupid.
We got stupid. You need narrow for the crop.
Yeah, for late season row crops, you need narrow tires.
Well, these sprayers are insanely heavy.
But they're heavy, and our ground compacts very, very easily. So, spring...
Yeah, they'll sink in. I mean, in the spring, you can leave 12-inch tracks when it's dry out.
Yeah. So during the spring, before the crop emerges, we put on these wider floater tires, which does the sprayer absolute wonders. We wish we could keep them on year round, but we just can't.
So they're 650s for your...
They're 650s. I'm not a big...
The questions start coming.
650, 65 R38. That's. I'm not a big tire guy. I don't know my tires very well, but these work absolute wonders. I mean, you can hardly see the sprayer tracks with this compared to that. All right, I'm gonna set it up and do a time lapse here of us changing out these tires. Well, there we go. I think the sprayer always looks way better with the larger tires on it, and man, it just floats so much better. You can actually go across the field, leave ruts that deep rather than, well, this deep. It's hard to make foot-long measurements with one hand. But we have another issue. So in the last video that I made, we put the side tanks on our tractors, kind of got the field cultivators ready, got that all set up and ready to go. So they're all here. As you can see, everything's connected, but we have an issue. So we're using Raven 440 monitors, and yesterday we couldn't get the speed to work in either of these tractors. Dad got this one working this morning, the 9530T, just a power cable that was unplugged. But this one, this monitor, is not getting speed, and we were taking it from here. Now, I think what the problem is that it's using radar, and our radar is not working. So either, one, this tractor doesn't have a radar, two, the radar is not working, or three, it just needs to be recalibrated. So I'm gonna crawl underneath quick, I'm gonna see if we have a radar, and if we do, I'm gonna try recalibrating it, and if we don't have a radar, or the calibration doesn't work, if you take off this amp connector right here, there's a plug in there where you can switch between radar and GPS. So hopefully I can do that and get the speed to work on this thing. Because without speed, we can't control rate. And if we can't control rate, we can't control our boom setup for pre-emerge. So speed is pretty important. I've been underneath this tractor like 10 times this week already. Where would the radar even be? Gosh. I don't know. Maybe this tractor doesn't have a radar. Normally they're little white boxes. I'm not seeing it. I don't know, I'm not seeing them, but I think I think I'm gonna try to do a recalibration anyways, just see if it'll even go through. Today's supposed to be a nice day, but it's kind of chilly right now. Heated seats. There we go. Alright, menu, machine settings, ground radar. Drive an unloaded tractor at approximately 2 miles per hour and press start. And then confirm. Oh. Okay, well. Let's try driving at 2 miles per hour, I guess. Shift down. 2.1, 2, retry. Start. Retry. I am guessing that we do not have a radar in this thing. Well, I think I'm going to switch the plug to GPS. This diagnostic port has come out too. Okay, somewhere in there. I don't know how well you can see this, but here's a cable that says radar, and that is plugged in. And the one that says GPS just has a little terminator at the end of it, or just a plug, I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna switch these around, see if it changes anything. Hey, we have a speed reading, and it is within 0.1 miles per hour. 3.6, 3.5. We can calibrate that later. Oh, they both show 3.5 now. Hey, look at that, I did something. Dale'll be excited to hear this. I have healed you. I'm a magician.
How's that?
I just switched the wires.
Oh. Well, who figured it out?
I did.
No.
Yeah, huh? Remember when we went through the menu and it said radar 0?
Yeah.
Yeah, you figured that part out.
Yeah. So
But
if I wouldn't have figured that out, what would you be doing right now?
I don't know, I probably would have figured it out eventually. But if I didn't know where the wires are, what would you be doing right now?
I would be calling my local John Deere dealer.
Yeah, you probably.
The wires are.
I don't know. That was like a common thing this summer when I was working for C&B, like switching those two wires around.
Or like,
Yeah.
I don't know when we did it on that one.
From the factory, even if they, I think from the factory, even if these tractors don't come with a radar, they're plugged into the radar sensor, or to the plug.
Could be.
So you need to switch it to GPS, because I crawled underneath. I know you crawled underneath it last night. I crawled underneath it this morning. I could not find a radar. The next order of today is we have this old fuel wagon. We use this my entire childhood. It wasn't until like, I don't know, 6-7 years ago we got the Thunder Creek one, and we've been using it ever since, and this has been sitting outside doing nothing. The barrel itself is perfectly fine. I shined a flashlight in, it's still perfectly clean in there. There's actually a little bit of fuel left in it, which don't know what we're gonna do with that, but the wagon itself, or the barrel itself, is fine. The gear that it's on, or the trailer, is absolute garbage. And it's been sitting outside for a long time, so we're thinking about maybe putting this on a new trailer, new gear. But my task is to see if I can get this engine, which has been sitting outside for the past, well, decade, started. Going back to my high school engine class here for this one. Well, it's not stuck, that's good. It's not exactly free either, but it moves. I'll start draining the oil while I take the rest of it apart.
How can I compare thee when no one ever could come close? Look around, but I can't see. That is usually just how it goes. Brought a new horizon, opened up our doors to something more. Spun me round and you shook me, got me tainted to the core. So tell me.
This right here is why you do not let your engine sit outside for 7 years. That's disgusting. However, I mean, it does kind of seem to be wiping off. If I just clean it, go to some brake cleaner and put it back together, it might run. We'll see. So lots of times on these small engines, there's a jet in the bottom of the carburetor right here. If you get a screwdriver in there, you take that out. Be careful of which way it's oriented. I don't think I got it out all the way yet. Have to now. Come on, you're right there. I see ya. Lots of times, even on a clean motor, these jets can get plugged. Lots of times I find if I just take these out and blow them out with some brake cleaner and put it back together, they usually run. But my problem is that here's like the main jet, and there's another part that is stuck still way up in there. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get that out or not. Can I push it from the top? No. Got it. This little thing, I don't know how well it's going to focus on that, but that goes inside here, followed by that plug I showed you earlier. This needs to be cleaned out. Even if you have a clean engine and it's not working right, probably this. Now look at this fuel tank. Lovely. Lovely. I'm going to have to take that off too and pressure wash that out more than likely. Oh, that's not even liquid, it's just sludge. Where's the pressure washer? Okay. Before I try and start it, leave a comment down below if you think it's going to start or not, and how many pulls you think it's going to take if you do think it's going to start. You guys saw the carburetor, how disgusting that was. You saw how disgusting the fuel tank was. I did check, I had the same spark plug in there, but I do have spark, and it is moving freely now. So, oh, there we go. So yeah, leave a comment. We're going to try this out. Fuel's on. Let's do throttle up a little bit. Choke on. First pull! The throttle is not working. Throttle's not working. When I turn the choke off, it stopped, but it's doing something. What's not connected here? Now I swear I did not pull it once before that happened. I think I figured out my throttle problem. It's still sticky, so I think it's either going to be wide open or not open at all. But the problem was that I routed the fuel line wrong, so it was creating friction. But I think it should be able to start now. We're going to see. Or start and run. No, it still likes to be on full choke. It likes to be at full throttle. But you know what? I'll take that as a win. So Dad came back and I was showing him that I got the engine started. And this was pretty locked up when I was here, so I took the belt off and I was running it with the belt off. He drops the idler down on it. When the motor's running, starts pumping fuel. Pulls the handle, fuel comes out. This works. Apparently the key to maintaining your equipment, letting it sit outside for 8 years. I'm baffled.
We might have got it running a few years ago.
I think there's a little pressure.
It's producing pressure.
Hey, Dad, there's no way you got this running a couple years ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Zero. There was like a big brown stain on the concrete over there.
Yeah.
That was from pressure washing out the fuel tank.